€20 million could take a Real Madrid player away before this transfer window closes. The tireless engine of our midfield will get special protection this season. An undisputed starter will miss the start of the season due to injury. And a 17-year-old trained with the first team because of serious problems in the squad. If you follow every step of Real Madrid, subscribe to the channel now. Here, it's daily content, direct and without fluff, only for true Madridistas. Real Madrid has already moved in the market with 4 important signings in this transfer window, strengthening the squad for the new season. But now, according to information from the newspaper Sport, the priority has changed. The club will focus its efforts on sales. And among the names that could be on their way out, one stands out and stirs controversy among fans: Dani Ceballos. Xabi Alonso, the coach who knows every inch of this squad, has made it clear that he doesn't want to lose the player at this moment. For Alonso, Ceballos can still be useful during the season, especially because Real Madrid's marathon of matches demands reliable options in midfield. However, the coach's wish was not enough to end the speculation about the midfielder's future. In recent days, an offer from Saudi Arabia was put on the table, but promptly rejected by Ceballos, who showed no interest in moving to Arab football. What really appeals to him is the possibility of returning to the club where he became a professional player, Real Betis. And that's where the story starts to take an even more interesting turn. The chance of this return has increased considerably in the last 24 hours. The reason is serious for Betis. Star player Isco, considered the brain of the team and a key piece in the tactical setup, suffered a leg fracture during a friendly against Malaga. The diagnosis is tough: 3 months out of action. Faced with this absence, the Betis board immediately began looking for a worthy replacement and, according to the same Sport report, Ceballos' name is seen as the ideal solution. Real Madrid, for its part, is willing to do business, but with a clear condition: Betis must pay between €15 million and €20 million to seal the deal. And it's worth remembering that the Andalusians have the financial power to do so. Recently, they sold Johnny Cardoso to Atletico de Madrid for €30 million, which gives them enough cash to try to finalize the signing. However, there is a detail that could complicate the transaction. This heavy investment in Ceballos could compromise another Betis objective, which is to bring back Antony from Manchester United. In other words, the club's board will have to decide whether to prioritize strengthening the midfield or re-signing a forward who is also considered important for the season. The scenario, therefore, is open. On one side, a Real Madrid squad that is already full and could make money from the sale. On the other, a Betis in urgent need to replace its biggest star, but torn between 2 major targets. So, Madridistas, here's the big question. Would you sell Ceballos for €20 million now, in the middle of so many injury problems in our squad, or keep him until the end of the season to ensure more options on the bench? Leave your comment and let's debate. According to information from Diario AS, coach Xabi Alonso has already defined a clear strategy to protect one of the most valuable and tireless players in the squad: feed Valverde. The idea is simple but crucial: to avoid as much as possible that the Uruguayan suffers injuries this season. Valverde's moment within the club is special. With the departure of Luka Modric, who ended a historic 13-year era at Real Madrid, Feed has taken on an even more important role in the locker room. He was named vice-captain of the team, a recognition not only of his technical quality but also of his leadership and the respect he has earned among teammates and fans. Dani Carvajal was designated as the main captain, but due to the right-back's injury history, it is very likely that Valverde will wear the armband in several matches throughout the season. The reason for this extra protection becomes clear when looking at the player's impressive numbers. Since the start of the 2023-24 season, Real Madrid has played a total of 123 official matches. Valverde has been present in 119 of them, racking up 9,808 minutes on the pitch. And that's not all. In the 2024-25 season alone, he has already accumulated 6,676 minutes, the highest number recorded by any player in the world during this period. It's a massive physical workload, worthy of someone who seems to have endless energy, but which also increases the risk of injury. To reduce this risk, Alonso has made an important decision: avoid improvising Valverde in other positions, especially at right-back, something that has happened in the past when the team had absences. With Carvajal recovered and the arrival of Trent Alexander-Arnold, that position will be well covered, allowing the Uruguayan to focus exclusively on midfield, where his impact is decisive. The coach wants Valverde to always be ready for the big matches, leading the team with maximum intensity but without unnecessary overload. After all, he is not only a fast and resistant player, he is the engine that dictates the team's rhythm, the link between defense and attack, and a symbol of the commitment every Madridista expects to see on the pitch. Should Valverde be spared more, or should he play everything? I want to know what you think. According to journalist Arantxa Rodriguez, Real Madrid has suffered yet another significant blow in the midfield, and this time the problem directly affects one of the most beloved players among fans and a fundamental piece in Xabi Alonso's system, Eduardo Camavinga. The Frenchman, known for his versatility and intensity, has suffered an ankle sprain and will be sidelined for at least 10 days. What worries most is that this is not a completely new injury. Camavinga had already been dealing with discomfort in the same area since last season. At the time, the medical department managed to keep the situation under control, allowing him to keep playing, but the sequence of matches, combined with high-intensity training sessions, eventually aggravated the issue. During the European summer, he missed important training sessions, precisely during the period when the squad was preparing to build chemistry before the official start of the season. This situation immediately raised a red flag inside the club. The immediate consequences of this injury are clear. Camavinga is officially out of the friendly against WSG Tirol, a match that would have been another opportunity for him to gain rhythm and fine-tune tactical adjustments ahead of the La Liga opener. But the big question is whether he will be fit for the match against Osasuna, scheduled for August 19th. Although the initial plan is to have him back no later than the 24th, in the match against Oviedo, the coaching staff and medical team do not intend to take unnecessary risks. That is because, aside from his recent injury record, the player is considered a key piece for the team's balance, and an early return could worsen the situation. Camavinga's problem adds to a scenario that is already, by itself, quite concerning for Alonso. Jude Bellingham, another undisputed starter in midfield, is also out through injury, and Luka Modric, a club idol and technical reference, is no longer part of the squad. In short, three players who define the identity and quality of the sector are unavailable at the moment. This forces deep changes right in the pre-season, a period in which the coach should be consolidating the starting lineup, not improvising emergency solutions. To deal with this wave of absences, Xabi Alonso had to turn to La Fábrica, Real Madrid's legendary academy, known for producing talents that often emerge in moments of crisis. According to journalist Mario Cortegana, several youngsters were called up to complete training sessions: Jesus Forti, Kike Ribes, Victor Valdepenas, and Jose Reyes. All of them were given a rare opportunity to share the pitch with the top stars of the squad, an experience that could accelerate their development. Among these names, one stood out in particular: Diego Lacosta. A defensive midfielder born in 2008 and just 17 years old, Lacosta currently plays for Real Madrid's U17 team. Internally, he is already seen as a talent with the potential to make the leap to professional football faster than expected. Being present in first-team training sessions is, for him, an invaluable showcase. And considering the midfield is currently facing a shortage of options, this call-up is not merely symbolic. It is a real possibility that he could feature in pre-season matches and perhaps even be registered for official games if the situation does not improve. Another youngster who has caught Alonso's attention is Thiago Pitarch. He already made an excellent impression when he took part in the friendly against Leganés, showing personality and technical quality despite his limited experience in the first team. Like Lacosta, Pitarch could be called upon for greater responsibilities if the list of absences continues to grow. This scenario mixes concern with hope. On the one hand, Real Madrid loses immediate strength with the absence of players like Camavinga and Bellingham and still feels the loss of Modric's experience. On the other, it sees the opportunity to test new prospects at a higher level. It is the kind of situation that historically has revealed stars who are now among the greatest in the world. At Real Madrid, moments of crisis often turn into turning points for youngsters who suddenly find themselves facing an opportunity they never imagined would come so soon. New season, new problems, and new opportunities. If you want to follow everything from the perspective of a true Madridista, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and don't miss anything. This is Real Madrid every single day.